Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ringside Wrestling Entertainment. This is Joel Perez here for another edition of your weekly episodic news show. This is Behind the Mic, and it is Behind the Mic episode number 40 here today. 40 editions of Behind the Mic and 40 editions of huge news stories, because we have so many news stories for you on this Hell in a Cell 2017 weekend. One particular news story on Hell in a Cell, and that would be the tour to India that WWE is having. I believe 1 week after Hell in a Cell, WWE will be touring India, and headlining that tour will be Jinder Mahal. So could that have implications for WWE Hell in a Cell, meaning that Jinder Mahal will retain the WWE Championship at Hell in a Cell, which clearly is a result that nobody wants to see happen. We're talking about that, and that is the main news story right here on Behind the Mic. Here today, we have an update on when John Cena will return. He has been taken off of Survivor Series, which is clearly huge news right there. We've got news on Bray Wyatt and Sister Abigail making her debut at TLC, and it apparently not being a member of the WWE female roster, which is a huge mistake, and we will talk about that right here on Behind the Mic. We have rumors going around of WWE members of the WWE locker room being furious with Shane McMahon and his positioning on WWE television, getting all these super high spots and being able to do all this crazy stuff in the feud with Kevin Owens right now. People are jealous and furious at Shane McMahon's positioning. We have news on why AJ Styles has not been wrestling that much as of late on Smackdown Live. That is bullshit, and we will talk about that right here on Behind the Mic. And backstage news on why 205 Live and the 205 Live locker room, those Enzo Amore segments, have been closing Monday Night Raw for the past 2 weeks. We have all that news and so much more right here on Behind the Mic, so make sure to stay tuned for the news stories as we go into the little advertisement section of this video. Make sure to go check out all the other content on the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel, because there is so much other content to go check out on the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel. Just this week, we had preview and predictions for the very pay-per-view you are going to watch on Sunday. We're talking everything Hell in a Cell, the builds to Hell in a Cell, the quality of Smackdown going into Hell in a Cell, who I want to win, who I think WWE is going to choose to win, and the impact that all of that is going to have going into the future of Smackdown Live. So we're talking about that on our Hell in a Cell preview and predictions. Huge video right there. Make sure to check that out. Uploaded on Thursday, going in to Hell in a Cell on Sunday, which there will be a review for Hell in a Cell 2017. So if you want even more content this week, you've got it tomorrow after Hell in a Cell goes off the air. About an hour and a half, hour later, you're going to see your Hell in a Cell 2017 review up after that show goes off the air. On Wednesday, we had a news story video, breaking news. We were talking about WWE War Games, and that returning to WWE, to NXT particularly, at NXT TakeOver Houston, or as it's now being referred to, NXT TakeOver War Games. We were talking everything regarding that news story. That's about a 10-minute video on the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel for all of you to go check out. Had a lot of fun making that video, and it is doing very well on the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel, so make sure to go check out that video. Like always, there are Monday Night Raw and Smackdown reviews on the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel. And of course, Monday Night Raw and SmackDown reviews were uploaded this week, so make sure to go check those out. The go-home show for Hell in a Cell, which we're watching tomorrow on Sunday, is uploaded, so you can make sure to go check that out. See my last thoughts on SmackDown Live heading in to Hell in a Cell. We also have WWE 2K18 coming out in 6 days, and that game will be heavily covered on the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel when I get my hands on the game and I see how everything's going to work out. I will release a schedule on the channel for what WWE 2K18 we're going to be covering: my career, universe mode, the Bound for Glory, or the Road to Glory mode, whatever the hell they're calling it. We're covering everything regarding WWE 2K18 right here. So that's just another reason you should subscribe to the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel. We cover everything regarding the WWE right here on Ringside Wrestling. So make sure to subscribe. Make sure to like this video if you enjoy what you're hearing here. And make sure to comment what you think of all these news stories. And I'd like to ask a favor of you to stay tuned, because right now we're going straight into the news stories. We start off here on Behind the Mic episode number 40. Look at that, 40 weeks of Behind the Mic. And we start off here with the story of WWE touring India. India, yes, and people headlining that tour will be Jinder Mahal, which is not good news if you ask me, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Alexa Bliss. The WWE will take its show back to India at the end of the year, ending the long, drawn-out wait by their Asian fans. WWE Champion Jinder Mahal will be one of the big names on display, with the 31-year-old set to be accompanied by usual suspects Samir and Sunil Singh. On Thursday, WWE, along with Sony Pictures Network India, announced that WWE will be returning to the country with back-to-back shows in New Delhi and Indira Gandhi Indoor Stadium on December 8th and December 9th. The likes of Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, Braun Strowman, Alexa Bliss, and Sasha Banks are also among the stars poised to headline the shows, which will be the first held in India since January of last year. Ticket information has not been released yet, but will be soon. The modern-day Maharaja, or Failure Raja, like I like to say, who was actually born in Canada but is not of Indian descent, or is of Indian descent, I should say, is quite eager to perform in front of the Indian fans and describes his involvement in the upcoming event as a privilege. Quote, this is Jinder Mahal speaking, "It is an honor to represent the people of India every time I step into the ring, and it will be a true privilege to perform for them live." Yeah, as if they give a fuck about you, bro. My God, bro. Jinder Mahal is absolutely god-awful. I don't understand why this man has been given the ball to run with. Clearly, this man has failed, and for some reason, for some goddamn reason, because WWE is WWE, this guy is still holding the WWE Championship, but WWE enjoys a large, dedicated following in India, with the highest TV viewership after only cricket, said Rajesh Kaul. I don't know how to pronounce that name. Hopefully I pronounced it right, but that's what Rajesh Kaul said, the president of Sony Sports and Distribution Business. "We are delighted to announce to our loyal fans the return of WWE Live, presenting them with an opportunity that will take them closer to their favorite WWE superstars." WWE, they tweeted, "The hashtag King of Kings Triple H has touched down in India as he begins his visit in Mumbai." So Triple H was visiting India as of late as well. "I know our fans cannot wait to fill the Indira Gandhi Stadium and welcome back their favorite superstars. Shatish," I don't know how to pronounce that last name. I'm not even going to try. "The vice president and general manager of WWE India declared." So there you go. There you go. Mahal's rise to the top has certainly helped the company outreach in India, and according to their chief revenue and marketing officer, Michelle Wilson, over 60 million Indian viewers tune in to watch their programming every week. Really? Really? I don't believe that, but Sony Pictures Networks India affords viewers the opportunity to catch episodes Raw, Smackdown Live, WWE Main Event, NXT, Total Divas, as well as monthly specials such as WrestleMania and SummerSlam via their channels Sony 10-1 and Sony Max. A local show called WWE Sunday Dhamal also airs, showing some of the best wrestling highlights in Hindi. And back in April, the WWE held an audition in Dubai with several of the applicants reported as being from India. So they got all those stats in India, this WWE. Good for them. Good for them. Mahal will be defending his title at Hell in a Cell on Sunday against Shinsuke Nakamura, and he's certainly confident of victory, having already called out his next opponent, New England Patriots tight end Rob Gronkowski. That would be absolutely awful and despicable on WWE television, but the champ says Gronkowski, who knocked him down in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal at WrestleMania 33 and threw beer in his face at ringside during a subsequent event, is due some payback and will get his receipt. Rob Gronkowski cost me the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, and I haven't forgotten that, said Mahal. There is definitely unfinished business between myself and Gronkowski, and I can guarantee he'll be getting his receipt. Prior to the aforementioned December dates, Mahal will be visiting India from October 13th to 15th under WWE's banner as well. So that is also to be expected. He's going to meet with media personnel and discuss the WWE's return to the country. So my God, this sounds like Jinder Mahal, from all these news stories, this sounds like Jinder Mahal is unfortunately going to retain the WWE Championship at Hell in a Cell. I mean, I don't understand how WWE would put this title on Jinder Mahal, and many people don't understand how WWE would put this title on Jinder Mahal with the sole focus to capture that Indian market even more so than WWE has already done, right? That's the goal, to get them subscribing to the WWE Network and buying WWE merchandise, right? That's the goal. But, I mean, you're going to take the title off of him before he goes to India on October 13th through 15th and then the December dates. I don't understand how WWE would do that. And that pisses me off, because Jinder Mahal, I don't know if they see it this way in India. From what I've heard, they don't even like Jinder Mahal in India. They tolerate him. They don't mind him, but they rather see a Roman Reigns. They rather see a Sasha Banks. They rather see a Seth Rollins than a Jinder Mahal. And that makes sense, because isn't Jinder Mahal a heel character? How is a heel character supposed to be well-liked by the Indian audience, especially in India, where kayfabe is still very alive in the eyes of many people? How the hell are they supposed to get behind Jinder Mahal? And on top of that, if kayfabe is not alive with some people in India, they will see, if they are smart fans, they will see that Jinder Mahal's title reign is absolutely fucking garbage. And that every time he goes into a match, he has no in-ring skills. He wins the same way each and every single time with the help from the Singh brothers, cannot win clean. So how is anybody in India supposed to like Jinder Mahal? He's Indian. Oh, I like that guy. He's Indian. No. I don't see somebody of Spanish descent on WWE television and say, oh, I like that guy. I don't see somebody of white descent, if I'm a white person, and of American descent, if I'm American, and say, oh, I like that person because they're American. That's not, no. Like, it doesn't work like that, bro. So I don't understand what WWE is even trying to do with Jinder Mahal in India, where kayfabe is still very alive. It makes no goddamn sense to me. This guy is not selling tickets in India. They rather see a Roman Reigns. Why that is, because WWE pushed him to the moon, and India, being the market that they are, still believing that kayfabe is alive, clearly is going to go for that. So why not just have Roman Reigns headline this tour? Why not have Roman Reigns be your outreach to the market in India? Because from what I hear, everybody in India loves Roman Reigns. Or most people do, at least, for that matter. So what is even the point of having Jinder Mahal headline WWE India tour? Makes no goddamn sense to me. Why does he need to be holding the WWE Championship to go on that India tour? I mean, the WWE Championship has certainly given this guy a presence, Well, so even if he has it or not, he's still going to have that presence by the time he goes into India. Have Nakamura take the title off of this guy and end our misery, because this guy is affecting your marketing and your attendance numbers and your television ratings in America, here, where you're doing business. Jinder Mahal is fucking that up. Smackdown Live numbers are lower than we've ever seen before. They got a 2.3 million viewership for Smackdown Live, a go-home show to a pay-per-view. That is absolutely abysmal. Abysmal. And Jinder Mahal, he is not solely responsible for that, but he has a part to play as WWE Champion. He's awful. Nobody wants to see that. People are tuning out. It is affecting your business either way, and not in a positive light. He's not helping your business in India. If anything, Roman Reigns is helping your business in India. And he's not helping your numbers. If anything, he's negatively affecting your numbers here in America. So what's the point of keeping the title on this guy? Hopefully, WWE comes to terms with this guy losing the title at Hell in a Cell, ending our misery on television, restoring some of SmackDown Live's quality, and getting this guy out of television. Have him tour India, do whatever the hell you want for him. Have him go for the United States Championship. But keeping the WWE title captive with this guy who cannot wrestle, can't cut a promo, cannot do anything as far as in-ring work goes, as far as putting on a good feud goes. I mean, what is even the point? What is even the point? There is none. There is none. Get the title off of Jinder Mahal. He is the modern day failure Raha. Nobody wants to see it. None of the people here want to see it. None of the people in India probably want to see it. They probably rather see Roman Reigns holding the WWE Championship, bro. What is even the point? Nobody cares. Nobody cares about Jinder Mahal. End our misery and put it on Nakamura. That's it. End of the line. End of story. Let's move on here. We move on to this ridiculous Sister Abigail story, which has actually piqued my interest in this rivalry. I had zero interest in this Finn Balor Bray Wyatt rivalry before Bray Wyatt mentioned Sister Abigail. Now this has become interesting because more than ever at this point, we're close to seeing a debut of Sister Abigail. We really are closer than ever of seeing a debut of Sister Abigail. And WWE, even this, the one thing that they still have that can restore this Bray Wyatt character and make this Bray Wyatt character legit and make this rivalry actually interesting, they're even planning on this being fucked up. You gotta be kidding me. Sister Abigail to make her debut at TLC, but she won't be portrayed by a female WWE superstar. Bray Wyatt is one of the most mysterious characters in the WWE today, and he is currently in a feud with another mysterious character in Finn Balor. Wyatt has lost 2 straight matches to Balor, but he recently revealed that Sister Abigail is still alive. The latest news has revealed the plans for Sister Abigail, who can make her debut at TLC Tables, Ladders, and Chairs. As recapped by WWE.com, Bray Wyatt cut another one of his creepy promos on Monday Night Raw. Wyatt confronted Finn Balor, and he challenged him to bring back the Demon once again. It should be noted that Wyatt lost to Balor twice, once against the Demon. Wyatt revealed that Sister Abigail is alive, and she is dying to meet Balor. Abigail is alive, and she's dying to meet you, Wyatt said, as his face transformed into a scarecrow-like character while a woman's hysterical laugh plays in the background. The identity of Sister Abigail has been one of the few mysteries left in the WWE. Abigail is a big part of Wyatt, and it could be the right time for her to make her debut. However, it seems like the WWE could be on their way to screwing it up by introducing her in an odd twist. According to Ryan Satin of Pro Wrestling Sheet, the current plan by the WWE is for Bray Wyatt to face Finn Balor at TLC Tables, Ladders, and Chairs. Satin added that Wyatt is going to be in a different outfit or character for the match. Wyatt will reportedly play Sister Abigail, similar to the one that appeared on Monday Night Raw. The idea is that Sister Abigail is the counter character for Finn Balor's Demon. The report also noted that WWE is not planning to introduce Sister Abigail as a female superstar. Garbage. However, it should be noted that these are just purely speculative at the moment. Hopefully it's just speculative. Goddamn, the WWE tends to change their plans, and there are some female WWE superstars capable of playing Sister Abigail. So, yes, take this with a grain of salt to some extent. Continuing on here. One of those superstars is Mae Young Classic competitor and NXT star Sage Beckett. Per Wrestling Inc., the former TNA star got signed to the WWE in January after dropping 127 pounds. Wow, look at that. She teased on Twitter that she could be one of the women to portray Sister Abigail. And that would certainly be more interesting than Bray Wyatt debuting a goddamn demon or some demon Sister Abigail character. That makes no goddamn sense. But continuing on here, other stars who would be great for Sister Abigail include Crazy Mary Dobson, Paige, and Micah Rotunda, the real-life sister of Bray Wyatt. That'd actually be more interesting than Bray Wyatt putting on face paint. Nevertheless, the interest in the Wyatt vs. Balor feud got a little higher with the possibility of Sister Abigail's long-awaited debut. Hopefully, WWE goes the route of introducing a woman superstar, Paige, Sage Beckett, something along those lines. I mean, why the hell would you go for Bray Wyatt coming out dressed as a different character? That makes no goddamn sense whatsoever and will elevate Bray Wyatt nowhere. And what I'm thinking of here is, why the hell would you have Bray Wyatt come out, put all this effort into fucking dressing up and doing this face paint garbage, right? When he's probably still going to lose to Finn Balor. I mean, we're reporting later that John Cena is off of Survivor Series, and there are stories going around and that pretty much confirm that Brock Lesnar is going to be at the Survivor Series in place of John Cena. John Cena's out, and Brock Lesnar is now in. WWE extended Brock Lesnar's deal. They went to him, offered him more money, and now he's confirmed for the Raw after WWE TLC. So that would be the next Monday Night Raw, or not the next Monday Night Raw, the Raw after TLC, and the Raw before Survivor Series. So the Go Home Raw to Survivor Series. And apparently his opponent, because who the hell else is it going to be? It's going to be Finn Balor. Because WWE was going to plan that match for the Royal Rumble. That proposes the question what Brock Lesnar's doing at the Royal Rumble, if this does happen. But I mean, it's really the only logical thing that WWE can do. Who the hell else is Brock Lesnar going to face? Who the hell else has Brock Lesnar been mentioned by? Finn Balor has always been keeping that in mind, slowly but surely, subtly, but nonetheless, Finn Balor has been mentioning Brock Lesnar as the weeks go by. And he even had that segment with Paul Heyman. So, I mean, if you are trying to legitimize Finn Balor and you're having this guy go into a feud with Brock Lesnar going into the Survivor Series, because you need something to sell that show, the Demon versus the Beast would certainly do the trick. First of all, I even talked about that, I believe last week or the week before, that I don't feel like this match is believable. But if you're trying to at least give this match some type of believability, why would you have Finn Balor lose? That makes no fucking sense. So that proposes the question why you would even have Bray Wyatt introduce this female Sister Abigail character, whether it's a female superstar or he's just gonna fucking put on face paint and WWE's gonna be lazy about it. That proposes the question why he's even debuting this character if he's probably just going to lose anyways. If Bray Wyatt loses, that's fucking up all his momentum. Any ink of momentum that Bray Wyatt is holding on to right now. And if Finn Balor loses, what type of sense does that make going into Finn Balor's match with Brock Lesnar at the Survivor Series? Either way, this feud, if you ask me, should be over by now. It should be over. And clearly, WWE, with their decision making and their storytelling, it should be over by that case alone. This goddamn story makes no sense. It makes no sense. If Bray Wyatt is going to debut Sister Abigail, it should be a female superstar. It should be a manager. That can help Bray Wyatt. That can elevate Bray Wyatt. Maybe he can actually go on a goddamn winning streak because this guy can't seem to catch himself a win. But if you do this ridiculous face paint garbage for Bray Wyatt to lose anyways when he's already lost to Finn Balor twice, it makes no sense. It should be a woman. The face paint garbage is ridiculous. What you can do by debuting a woman for the Bray Wyatt character would be fantastic. Yet you're screwing another thing up. You're getting lazy with something else. You can give a fantastic role to a female superstar. Sage Beckett would fit fine into the role. A Paige would fit fine into the role. If you wanted to go out and get a Rosemary, she'd fit perfectly into the role. But getting lazy face paint? A counteract to the demon character? It's unnecessary, it's lazy, and it is garbage. Nobody wants to see this sci-fi bullshit. Have Bray Wyatt, have the essence of this creepy-ass character in Bray Wyatt be fleshed out and brought out even more through a female character who elevates Bray Wyatt, perhaps helping him win here and there. Look what Maurice and look what fucking managers have done for the careers of other superstars. Maurice for The Miz. That's been absolutely fantastic for The Miz. You can do the same for Bray Wyatt. Maybe you can actually legitimize that character. But right now, you're just wasting your fucking time. Face paint? You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. A counteract to the demon character? You've got to be kidding me. God damn. Make some sense out of your storyline. Get creative. You have a creative team. Use your creativity. God damn. Let's move on here. We have this news story, which I find very, very interesting, because I really did not see this one coming. But Shane McMahon in heat with the WWE locker room because they're furious over his booking. At WWE Hell in a Cell, Shane McMahon will face Kevin Owens inside the infamous structure with another stipulation, making it Falls Count Anywhere. It will be the latest big match for Shane O'Mac since his return to WWE roughly a year and a half ago. Over that time, he's had big matches with The Undertaker, AJ Styles, and will add Kevin Owens to the list this Sunday. However, not everyone in the WWE is happy about that fact. It's being reported that some WWE superstars in the locker room are not pleased with Shane's booking on WWE television. There is some resentment about the special treatment he receives from WWE officials and Vince McMahon because he's been given big stunts and moments to make his matches special. However, Shane's schedule only asks him to wrestle 2 matches a year, so Shane has the added privilege to rest after a big stunt. Some people backstage are furious because they feel Shane is showing them up with his big stunts, but he also receives time off to heal, unlike most of the full-time wrestlers. A recent report revealed that Shane has become one of the biggest draws for the company when he doesn't wrestle, which is something I didn't know. On paper, that gives WWE officials all the more reason to continue booking Shane as they have been, but the locker room doesn't appreciate it. Owens vs. McMahon has been one of the hottest feuds following WWE SummerSlam. As their feud comes to a head at WWE Hell in a Cell this Sunday, their match is expected to deliver on the high expectations and will likely lead to some bigger storylines on WWE television. There's been some speculation about Triple H returning and replacing Shane McMahon as the commissioner of Smackdown Live for the rest of the year. On paper, the powers that be will be adding the Falls Count Anywhere stipulation to the match, means another big stunt is planned. The last time Shane was featured in a Hell in a Cell match, he jumped off the structure at WrestleMania 32. Since the match with Owens can end anywhere in the arena, it's very likely that any huge stunt will end the match. The WWE Universe expects a massive stunt from Shane during his matches. The locker room may not like it, but his matches sell, and the powers that be try to give the fans what they want. First of all, that last line was complete bullshit. No, they don't. If that was true, why are we still getting Roman Reigns? That's a bullshit line by the fucking article, but that's besides the point. This is very interesting. This is very interesting because part of the frustration here that was talked about in this article is true, but not for the reason that was mentioned. If I was a performer in the WWE locker room, I would be furious because Shane McMahon is taking opportunity away from other superstars. Instead of taking a Sami Zayn, let's put him in that role, right? Instead of taking a Sami Zayn and having his feud with Kevin Owens be presented in the light with the attention to detail, with the massive storytelling that the Shane McMahon feud has been given, with Kevin Owens getting to be in the ring with Vince McMahon and getting to beat the shit out of Vince McMahon and things like that, instead of putting a Sami Zayn in Shane McMahon's role and making this feud between two active wrestlers, and it could be just as big if you put a Sami Zayn there, and it was Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens going into Hell in a Cell. If WWE wanted to, they can make a feud like that just as big, and Shane McMahon is not needed. And you know that. You know that if WWE put enough storytelling into a feud between Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, and they put that match in a Hell in a Cell, first of all, it would be a better match, because Sami Zayn would outperform Shane McMahon, and that's kind of where the frustration is, because the WWE locker room knows that they are better than Shane McMahon in that ring, and they would put on a better show than Shane McMahon, but at the same time, they are not given the opportunity to. And then at the same time, Shane McMahon gets to do all these stunts, and afterwards, he gets to rest. They are sitting there 365, right? 300 plus days a year, and after they do that big stunt, the next night they probably have to wrestle on a house show. The next night they probably have to go to the TV and fucking put on a 15-minute match. That's their issue, right? I mean, you can easily give these guys the opportunity. But you're not. You're putting a Shane McMahon there, and you know why. You know WWE is clearly going to favor Shane McMahon being the son's boss, right? I mean, it's just really not fair. Kevin Owens has been built very nicely in this feud. He has been presented in a fantastic light. Kevin Owens is going to come out of this feud, and you're looking at him a different way because you're saying, wow, WWE has faith in Kevin Owens. They like this guy. They're putting their stock behind this guy, and we know he's fantastic, but to know that WWE knows that too is definitely reassuring, and it feels nice, because Kevin Owens is in a feud with Shane McMahon. He got to fuck up Vince McMahon. You don't see everybody being able to do that. You don't. You don't, and it shows the faith WWE has in Kevin Owens, but then again, it shows the lack of faith WWE has in the rest of the locker room. Why couldn't you have done this feud? Why couldn't you have switched a Shane McMahon out for a Ty Dillinger, for a Sami Zayn, and put on the same caliber of feud? Why couldn't you have put your faith, why couldn't you have put your eggs into a different basket instead of one that is Shane McMahon, instead of one that you heavily favor? Why not give somebody else the opportunity? And that's where I would see the frustration from the WWE locker room. At the same time, they are not able to do these huge spots all the time, because if they're injured after that spot, they don't get time to rest. They do not get time to rest. And if they do get injured, and it is a serious injury and they have to take time off, when they come back, their opportunity is gone. Shane McMahon, that opportunity is always going to be there for him. He's always going to be in a big matchup, and I can see where the WWE locker room is frustrated in that fact. And I would be too. And I would be too. For now, let's move on here, and we move on here to this story. Update on when John Cena will return after getting pulled from Survivor Series advertisement. John Cena is currently on hiatus from the WWE, but many fans expect him to make an appearance at Survivor Series next month. However, Cena was recently pulled from the Survivor Series advertisement and he is no longer slated to make an appearance. The latest WWE update has revealed when Cena is going to make his return. As recapped by WWE.com, John Cena lost to Roman Reigns at No Mercy in what was described as a passing of the torch moment from one face of the WWE to the next. The WWE even teased that it was the last match of the legendary career of Cena. However, it should be noted that Cena was given time off to film 2 movies, Daddy's Home 2, which sounds absolutely ridiculous, and the Transformers spin-off Bumblebee. It was previously reported that Cena is advertised to appear at Survivor Series, and he was slated to start a short program with Bray Wyatt. The 40-year-old superstar is still the biggest draw in the WWE, and he was going to be used to increase the interest for Survivor Series. But according to Wrestling Inc., Cena was removed from the advertisement of the show, and he is expected to no longer appear at Survivor Series. Instead, John Cena is being advertised for 4 WWE live events at the end of the year. He is slated to appear in 3 house shows for Monday Night Raw after Christmas, and 1 for Smackdown Live 2 days before the New Year. You can see the schedule of live events John Cena is advertised to appear below. December 26th, Tuesday, Monday Night Raw live event at Madison Square Garden in New York City. December 27th, Wednesday, Monday Night Raw live event at the Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum in Uniondale, New York. So December 29th, Friday, Monday Night Live event at the Times Union Center in Albany, New York. And December 30th, Saturday, SmackDown Live house show at the Amalie Arena in Tampa, Florida. John Cena made his first public appearance since losing to Roman Reigns on October 3rd in the show Dancing with the Stars. Cena was there to support his fiancée Nikki Bella, who is a contestant. The 16-time WWE World Champion gave his comment on Bella's performance, and he even jokingly threatened her partner, Artem Chigvintsev. I don't know how the fuck to say his name, but there you go. The WWE tends to change their plans constantly, and it's still possible to see John Cena make a surprise appearance at Survivor Series. However, fans should be prepared for Cena taking more time off as he transitions from a WWE superstar to a Hollywood star. So, John Cena taking time off from the WWE even more so. And I mean, it's really not that much of a detractor. I mean, really, I wasn't that excited to see him at Survivor Series. If he did go into Survivor Series, it probably would have been in a matchup against a Finn Balor or a Samoa Joe, and those are exciting matchups, but they're not needed. They're not needed, at least not for right now. You have much bigger plans going into the Survivor Series, and I mean, I'd rather have seen John Cena and Finn Balor than what we're probably getting now with Brock Lesnar and Finn Balor. Brock Lesnar pretty much all but confirmed to be at Survivor Series right now. So, I mean, John Cena gonna take more time off. I mean, I guess it makes sense towards the storyline that WWE is trying to play with Roman Reigns and him retiring John Cena and blah, blah, blah. I guess they're going to have it hang for a couple months, so it helps them in that aspect. But there you go, seeing John Cena take more and more time off from the WWE, filming more and more movies. Not big movies. I mean, the Bumblebee one really is the biggest one as of late. But I mean, John Cena making his way, making his transition into Hollywood. It's undeniably going to happen, and I think not in the near future, but soon we will see John Cena be retiring from the WWE, taking his step back, taking the path that The Rock took out of the WWE. He's put a lot of effort for how many years now? 15 years into really doing his best work in the WWE, especially as of late, putting over guys like AJ Styles, Kevin Owens. You already know the deal. I mean, Cena clearly has done some shady garbage with the burying of the Nexus and the guys like Alex Riley, but I mean, really, you really have to just put it into perspective that we're not going to be seeing John Cena as of much, and I mean, WWE really should be getting used to that. WWE really should be building new stars. WWE really shouldn't be relying on these part-timers. like a John Cena, like a Brock Lesnar, to sell shows. Like Shane McMahon's, like we just spoke about earlier, to sell shows. They shouldn't be relying on those names. They should be relying and building stars in their rosters. And that goes back to what I said. Why couldn't you have done Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens in the same light that you did Shane McMahon and Kevin Owens? Made that storyline feel as important as you did the one with Shane McMahon and Kevin Owens. Why not take the option to build new stars? Because there's going to be a day where all of a sudden you're not seeing a John Cena anymore. All of a sudden Brock Lesnar didn't re-sign. All of a sudden Shane McMahon's getting a little too old to be doing all these high spots and being in all these matches. All of a sudden, the Undertaker possibility of retiring isn't a possibility anymore, and he's just retired. He's just in the Hall of Fame. It's just over. All of a sudden, you have nothing, no part-timers to rely on, bro. And that's when it's up to your roster, the Roman Reigns, the Seth Rollins, the Samoa Joe, the AJ Styles, to sell tickets. And it's up to you to build them now before you find yourself in deep shit in the future. So WWE, this just goes to further show you that WWE needs to start preparing for a life after the part-timers, bro. Because there's going to be a time where these guys just aren't around anymore. And it's either you build your stars now or you find yourself in deep shit later. And I feel like WWE at this point is going to find themselves in deep shit later because they don't seem to give a fuck about anybody who isn't a Roman Reigns, who isn't a Brock Lesnar. And that's a problem. That is a problem. So that's just what I'm going to leave you with here. WWE needs to start preparing for life after part-timers. For now, let's move on to the next article here. And we move on here to this story on AJ Styles, and the reason AJ Styles has not been competing on Smackdown Live as of late. And I find that to be a mistake. You have this guy bring back the United States Open Challenge, and for what? For what? But the real reason why AJ Styles hasn't been wrestling on Smackdown Live television recently. Over the past couple of weeks, AJ Styles hasn't been wrestling matches on Smackdown Live. For instance, the Phenomenal One watched the match between Baron Corbin and Ty Dillinger and cut a promo against the former during this week's show. However, the WWE Universe has noticed that Styles has not wrestled a lot of matches as of late, and some people are wondering if there is something going on behind the scenes. Naturally, there have been some rumors about backstage heat, injuries, and more keeping AJ Styles out of the ring on SmackDown Live. Apparently, WWE officials are keeping Styles from wrestling on television because they've been booking him in dark matches specifically for the crowd in attendance. WWE officials are trying to keep the crowd in the arena for 205 Live, so the US Champion has been working dark matches over the past couple of weeks for that purpose. In short, there's nothing happening backstage for AJ Styles. Since the WWE Draft and brand extension, the Phenomenal One has become one of the biggest superstars for the blue brand. SmackDown Live has been referred to as the house that AJ Styles built. Many fans see the show to watch him wrestle, and some of them will wait to see him perform. However, there's only so much that WWE officials can do if some fans aren't interested in sticking around to see 205 Live or Styles. This Sunday, AJ Styles will defend the United States Championship against Baron Corbin at WWE Hell in a Cell. WWE officials may have another US title change coming for the pay-per-view, but the expectation is Styles will walk out of Detroit with the title. WWE Universe will have a better idea about his future after the pay-per-view, and any questions about Styles' booking going on SmackDown Live should be answered soon. WWE officials may be planning more than one superstar from the brand to be featured in dark matches to keep the fans in the arena. Bobby Roode has worked some dark matches, and Styles has done the same. After this weekend, the powers that be could have Randy Orton or someone else wrestle some dark matches next. AJ Styles, especially holding this United States Championship, should be in the ring on SmackDown Live. I mean, you're talking about having ratings drop. You're talking about having low attendance numbers. Well, why don't you start putting on some good fucking television, bro? And an easy way to do that is by having one of, or probably the best guy you have on your roster, probably the best, most well-rounded wrestler in all of professional wrestling right now, wrestling on SmackDown Live every week. And with the United States Championship, and especially with the storyline that you have introduced of AJ Styles bringing back the United States Open Challenge, you have the perfect opportunity to have this guy on SmackDown Live every week, have him in a monumental match, since that match will be for the United States Championship, and have him against all the SmackDown Live talent, have all the SmackDown Live talent look good, have SmackDown Live talent getting TV time, and have the audience interested, because clearly if it's a match with AJ Styles, it's going to be a good match. But what you've done with this United States Open Challenge is that you've used it to get Baron Corbin into the United States title picture, and the United States Open Challenge has been a fucking shell of what it was when John Cena was doing it on SmackDown Live. Instead of having it every week, it's going to be a legit match this fucking week, and having it so a Ty Dillinger can come out and him and AJ Styles get 20 minutes of SmackDown Live. You're giving them 10 minutes of SmackDown Live with the commercial break in between, and the end of that match being an interference by Baron Corbin. Who the hell is supposed to be interested in that? Who the hell is supposed to be interested in that? And now you want to hold AJ Styles off of SmackDown Live, putting him in dark matches after the show, right? So 205 Live can keep the audience there for the show. First of all, it is your failure that nobody wants to watch 205 Live, because when the Cruiserweights are on Monday Night Raw, they are portrayed like garbage. And as of the past 2 weeks, you've had Enzo Amore come out and bury the entire Cruiserweight division. So who the hell is going to be interested staying an extra hour after a SmackDown Live show, which, if you've been watching SmackDown Live as of late, has not been good? Why would they want to stay for another hour of television, which they can watch on the WWE Network at home, and it wouldn't make any difference to them? It would not make any difference. Why? Why would they do that? So you're using AJ Styles to accommodate for your failure, and that is wrong. Second of all, this just goes to show you the failure that was putting the Cruiserweights after SmackDown Live. I mean, from the very beginning, from the very first 205 Live, people were saying that it's not going to work having this show after SmackDown Live. The crowd is going to be burnt out. The crowd is not going to be as interested in 205 Live. And there you go. People are leaving the arena. You have to put AJ Styles in a dark match to keep people there. That is pathetic. That is pathetic. And instead of putting these guys in front of NXT, an intimate crowd, in front of Full Sail, the NXT crowd, right? Instead of doing that and putting on a fantastic presentation with 205 Live that you know you would get from Full Sail, that you know the Full Sail crowd would give you, you're putting it after SmackDown Live, where you're going to these cities where who the hell is going to give a fuck about a Cedric Alexander, about a Jack Gallagher? They don't. They don't, and it is being displayed through the fact that WWE needs to go down to these means. Absolutely pathetic. AJ Styles is way too talented to be being kept off of television when you can have this guy in a United States Open Challenge every week, putting on a fantastic SmackDown Live segment against guys like Sami Zayn, Ty Dillinger, Baron Corbin, Kevin Owens in Open Challenges. Gotta be kidding me. Pathetic garbage. For now, let's move on here to the next segment. We move on here to the story with the Cruiserweights, and I mean, goddamn, if you thought WWE put the Cruiserweights at the end of the show these past 2 Monday Night Raws, because they're actually having a turning of the cheek with the Cruiserweights, and they're actually trying to correct some wrongs with what they've done with this division, you were dead wrong. For the past 2 weeks, the Cruiserweight division has been closing out the WWE Raw show. At the previous Raw pay-per-view, No Mercy, Enzo Amore was shockingly ended the dominated reign of the self-proclaimed King of the Cruiserweights, Neville. Despite not fitting the mold of the Cruiserweights from an in-ring standpoint, his charisma certainly outshines the rest and has brought a revived sense of interest to the 205 roster. Seemingly with the 205 roster at the end of recent flagship shows, WWE is showing a serious interest in the brand. After the success of the Cruiserweight division, WWE used this momentum to sign some of the contestants to revive the defunct Cruiserweight division with talent such as veteran and former WWE Tag Team Champion Brian Kendrick, former Impact Wrestling star T.J. Perkins, former Ring of Honor star Cedric Alexander, as well as hosts of popular independent talent. The division seemed very promising. However, being placed after Smackdown Live on the WWE Network has not been well received and has lost interest since its debut. With Enzo Amore at the helm, the division has more interest. However, while closing Raw would appear to be a significant promotion, it may be the opposite. According to ProWrestling.com via Wrestling Observer Radio, the reason why the division has been closing the show is due to WWE's notion of when people lose interest in the 3-hour Raw show. Reportedly around 10:15 is when the numbers and interest start to drop, which causes WWE to end the show with filler. This has been shown over the past 2 weeks with Enzo Amore Cruiserweight Championship celebration, which led him to getting attacked by Neville and then the rest of the division. This is followed by the most recent episode, which also closed with an extended Enzo Amore promo and the 205 debut of Kalisto. On the same show, the opening match was Seth Rollins challenging Braun Strowman and Roman Reigns challenging The Miz for the Intercontinental Championship to close the second hour. While it is doubtful that Raw will reduce its time back to 2 hours, the concept of putting filler content in the third hour may be more harm than good for future viewership during that time. Based on the recent final hour numbers, the trend is already heading that way. I do not understand why WWE has a third hour from a quality standpoint, bro, and from a viewership standpoint as well. I mean, I understand they're making like what, $15 million a year off this fucking third hour or whatever the hell the numbers are, but a Monday Night Raw show will have ratings of 3.1 in the first hour, 3 in the second hour, right? And then a 2.6 million viewership in the last hour. I mean, I just don't understand it. I just don't understand it, bro. Why would you have that third hour? And clearly WWE has not been putting what they would really want in the main event, what would really be the main event of the show, like a Roman Reigns versus The Miz. After, they're not going to put it at 10 o'clock because nobody's watching at that point, bro. They'll watch the first hour, they'll watch the second hour, and it will already be daunting enough because Monday Night Raw is so garbage. By the third hour, you're falling asleep. You're falling asleep. It's unbearable to sit through 3 hours of Monday Night Raw. It's unbearable to sit through 3 hours of anything. And especially Monday Night Raw with this boring garbage. I mean, my God, who the hell would want to do that? Who the hell would want to do that, bro? And it makes sense that you're putting the Cruiserweights at the end. It just shows even the further failure that the Cruiserweights are. So for those of you who thought, oh, Monday Night Raw's finally doing right by the Cruiserweights, even though Enzo's the champion, they're going to use this to elevate the Cruiserweight division. That's not the fucking case. If anything, they're just using this because they have nothing else to put at the end, and they put what they don't give a fuck about at the end of the show, thus putting the Cruiserweights on the end of Monday Night Raw, and apparently this being the main event. We now move on here to the final segment of Behind the Mic, episode number 40. Thank you very, very much for watching this video. Like always, make sure to go check out all the other content on the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel because there is so much other content to go check out right here on the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel. Raw reviews, Smackdown reviews, breaking news stories like what you saw on Wednesday with the WCW War Games coming to NXT TakeOver Houston. You can make sure to go check that out. Preview and predictions for pay-per-views. Preview and predictions for Hell in a Cell uploaded on Thursday is up on the channel. Pay-per-view reviews this Sunday. Tomorrow, Hell in a Cell review coming after that show goes off the air. Behind the mic each and every single Saturday. WWE 2K18 content coming next Friday, 6 days from now. When that game does release, we're going to be doing my career mode, universe mode, and a schedule will be released after I do get my hands on the game and figure out what would be best suitable for the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel. So make sure for now to hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, I quite honestly do not know what you're waiting for. Make sure to subscribe for everything regarding the WWE and all that fantastic content you just heard. Over 250 videos. Links to those videos, links to the 10 latest videos down in the description. Twitter account of the same name where we live to with Raw, SmackDown's pay-per-views, NXT TakeOver specials. Another thing that's actually reviewed on the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel, NXT TakeOver specials. All that fantastic content and so much more can be found right here on Ringside Wrestling. So I want to make sure that you subscribe, that you like this video, and make sure to comment down in the comment section below. You have free reign over the comment section. Tell me what you thought of this video, and tell me what you thought of all these fantastic big news stories right here on Ringside Wrestling Entertainment, because for now, this has been Joel Perez of Ringside Wrestling Entertainment. This has been Joel Perez for Behind the Mic episode number 40. And for now, I am out of here. I will see you tomorrow for your Hell in a Cell 2017 review and results.